Gotta Get Away for the Day guide, your Let's Try a New Place to Eat guide, even your Hey, it really happened here guide. We're the tour guide with you in mind. Eye on the Bay.
Welcome to Eye on the Bay. I'm Brian Hackney in downtown Half Moon Bay astride busy Highway 1 because tonight it is a road trip show and we're going to take one of the major arteries through the Bay Area. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head east on Highway 92 start to finish. The goal is to have adventures from here out to Hayward. And the great thing about beginning at the intersection of Highway 1 and 92 in Half Moon Bay is that just the other side of 92, the Pacific Ocean. And one of my favorite things in that ocean, local Dungeness crab. I love it, but there's one problem with that crab. I don't know how to make it, but we'll learn how to do it because we've got a recipe. And the recipe calls for everything from peppercorns to cayenne to mustard to allspice to beer. And in the course of this show, we're going to be picking up all of these ingredients along the way. But the main ingredient comes from this place, the Half Moon Bay Fish Market. Good place to start.
Man, it doesn't get any fresher than this. These crab were pulled out of Half Moon Bay just hours ago. And hours from now, at the end of my Highway 92 ingredient gathering, a crab chef will appear in my personal kitchen to prepare these for an unforgettable feast.
John Monitis, the owner, how long has your family had the place?
We've been here since 1964. Me and my dad started it.
You did, so you were just a kid.
I was just a kid. I was like 15 years old.
No kidding.
Did we mention this was a family affair? John's whole family is here, including his 92-year-old mother. John says that when things get busy, she helps crack and clean crabs.
Hi, you're 92?
Right.
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Have you ever watched this show before?
I sure do.
You do?
I love my Channel 5.
You do. We love you as a result. How about that Liam Makelem? You know Liam?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's a gorgeous man, isn't
He
he?
sure.
He sure is.
But you are too.
I'm taking you home. How long ago was this a crab in the ocean?
That was caught in the middle of the night. That came in this morning and we cooked it just before you got here.
Now what we were hoping to do, John, is to get some live crab, put it in the cooler, and take it on the road with us.
Sure, no problem.
John's assistants Felipe and Hector wrangled several crawling critters into our cooler.
And I shouldn't feel bad about dropping them into boiling water.
No, from the water boiling, that high boiling point, they go down right away. So they don't really suffer. That's why it's a good idea to make sure you put them in there when the water is boiling.
Okay. You thought last night was bad. Wait till tonight. Now, bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Good seeing you. Off on 92. All right, Flossie, up we go. Come on, up. I've got somebody for you to meet. Up, up, up. Here we go. Flossie, meet crab. I wouldn't smell those if I were you. Off on 92!
This western stretch of 92 is just gorgeous. When these fields aren't filled with pumpkins in the fall, they're full of other crops and flowers and dinosaurs. Great roadside stops flank the highway, plenty of little produce stands like this one, G. Berta.
And this looks like a place where you can pick up some lemons. Great! Lemons? Check. You ready, Floss? Oh, yeah, you look like you're excited. Let's go. Just down the road, well, I mean, you know, if you're gonna have crab, you gotta have a little white wine, right? That's why we're stopping here.
Behind this unassuming little house is La Nebbia Winery, cute little tasting room and a sprawling backyard. Perfect place to play a round or two of bocce ball and soak up some beauty along with some fermented grapes.
I mean, this is really cool. I didn't know you had a winery out here in 92.
Yeah, we have been here since the late 70s, if you can believe it.
No kidding.
It's evolved a lot over time. I bought the winery 9 years ago
Kendall,
almost.
no kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, a working owner.
Yeah.
But we've got beautiful bocce courts and grounds and stuff, as you can see. Your dog will enjoy that part of the experience.
Do you have anything that would go well with crab?
personally, I'd recommend our Sauvignon Blanc.
Really?
It's
to go
a
with the
nice,
vin. Okay.
a nice crisp wine. It's the acid is fairly high on it, so it's a great complement to something rich
Okay,
like
great.
crab. And I know you're not drinking and driving
No,
today.
that's
but
okay.
it's-
Our producer is. Yeah. I mean, he's not driving. Ruben, what do you think? Ruben gives his approval.
You can see that working for your event. I like it.
We'll take one, Kendall.
That sounds good.
White wine, check. How are they doing? Oh, yeah, we got plans for you. Let's go. Come on, babe.
From here, we climb Highway 92 to the summit, and then a windy descent toward Highway 280 and a landmark body of water, Crystal Springs Reservoir, popular with hikers, bikers, and geology nerds like me.
Yeah, right about here. I love this part of 92. I mean, see this little stretch of the road? How many of these guys who are traveling over this part of the highway realize that they are crossing from the continental plate here to the Pacific plate on the other side? Hey, come here. Right here, there's Crystal Springs Reservoir there. Continues on the other side of the road there. That Safeway truck is passing over the San Andreas Fault. It bisects this part of Highway 92, and there is a great photograph from just after the April 1906 earthquake. See this old horse and buggy? Do you see that bend in the road? That bend in the road used to be straight until the morning of that earthquake, and the earth went wham and offset by about 15 feet. The road has been repaired since then. It looks like this today. But one day, who knows when, it'll happen again. So let's get out of here. Now that we know that, let's leave Crystal Springs Reservoir, head east, cross 280, and arrive here at Crystal Springs Village in San Mateo. It's a cool little shopping mall, and they have got one great bakery here. Remember, we're gathering all these materials for a feast. Well, dessert's part of the feast, and inside Deanda's bakery, oh my gosh, cookies, cakes, sweet little things I don't know the name of. What should we get for tonight?
Hi,
Rosa, how are you?
Very good,
I'm
and
Brian.
yourself?
Nice to see
Nice
you.
to meet you, Rosa.
What should we, what's your favorite?
Over here, one of each.
Here at Deanda's Bakery, you can mix and match these tasty treats and pay by the pound. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, I like the chocolate. I love the chocolate.
Okay, chocolate?
Yeah, I'll have one of those. You have any little crabs? Anything in the shape of a crab?
Yes, it is.
No, you don't.
No, we don't. Okay, Brian.
That looks gorgeous, Rosa. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Really
thank you very
appreciate
much.
it. How do you not eat all this stuff
Oh, I
yourself?
try one of each.
You
Don't
do?
worry.
So am I.
Okay, thank you
Bye-bye.
very much for coming. Okay, bye.
So, dessert? Check.
And crabs, check. When we come back, more ingredients to gather, including beer for our crab boil. We'll find that at an awesome brewery in Hayward. Plus, what's this man doing in my kitchen?
Ah, those were the days. That's about where I was standing when we shot that stand-up originally about 4 years ago, and I was freezing my keister off. It was a cold day. Brian Hackney here. We're in the middle of our big trip, me and my dog Flossie, across Highway 92 from start to finish. We began in Half Moon Bay. We're going to end in Hayward, and along the way, we're picking up all of these different items for a great crab fest by the end of the day. Let's go.
We crossed the San Mateo Bridge, and here's a little trivia for you. When they completed the 7-mile bridge in 1929, it was the longest bridge in the world. I just hope that our guest riders stay cool long enough until I get them home.
And the great part about any journey, as you know, it's the stops along the way. Oh, and here's one of those stops right up ahead. Just after the east side of the bridge, you've always seen this brown building, and I thought, man, I want to check this place out for a change. So let's see if we can get a tour.
Most people feel we're a restaurant.
Yeah. So they
We're not
pull
a
off-
restaurant.
They pull off looking for seafood, and instead they find.
Well, they find an interpretive center, a building that helps describe this marsh.
How many different species of birds do you actually have that land here? Do you know?
At least 55.
Wow, that's really cool.
Those are little sandpipers called dowitchers. We have actually aquariums where you can see sharks
Sharks
Yeah.
that swim in the bay.
that are very common in the bay, leopard sharks.
You know what's amazing to me is that you've got you know, highways and traffic and all that stuff, and yet you just step off a few yards.
You can go 10 minutes down this trail and you forget the noise of the highway.
Yeah.
And you see the birds flying over, you see the tide changing. There are ducks that are flying right now. It's crazy, it's beautiful.
It is a beautiful view from the Nature Center, well worth stopping next time you're crossing the bridge. But now, we shuttle our ingredients to the end of the road. Highway 92 ends here in Hayward. Now this part, right off the bridge, is industrial. The Shasta factory is here, and Caterpillar, but we're not here for construction vehicles or soda.
But we still have one last magic ingredient that we need for the big crab feed tonight. And we're going to find that magic ingredient right here on B Street, just yards away from the Hayward Falls at Buffalo Bill's.
Beer. That's the magic ingredient for our crab boil. And what better spot to find an appropriate brew than Buffalo Bill's Brewery, where they're not afraid to try a daring flavor like blueberry or pumpkin.
See, this is the recipe that we're working off of, and this recipe calls for 24 ounces of beer. 24 ounces of beer is why we have John. And John, you are the, what do you call yourself, the brewmaster?
I'm the head brewer.
You are the head brewer. Now, have you ever heard of a crab recipe that requires, you know, beer to be mixed with the water and boiling the crab in the water?
Absolutely.
You do?
Absolutely.
Do you have the beer for that?
We certainly do.
What's it called?
It's called Hayward Hefeweizen.
Oh, locally brewed.
Locally brewed,
All
right behind you.
No kidding. Can we draw a growler? Because that's about how much I need.
We certainly can.
Let's do it. And while John is pulling that growler of Hayward Hefeweizen, we now realize we have got all of the ingredients ready, from the lemons to the beer. And now remains the final, the ultimate, the putting together of everything, and the ultimate crab feed, as Eye on the Bay's Roadshow Crab Feed concludes after a break. Welcome back to Eye on the Bay. I'm Brian Hackney, and finally the end of the road here at my house. And inside the ice chest, the crabs and I, which seem to go back a lifetime now. I mean, early this morning, their day began by being trapped. And if they thought that was a strange beginning to the day, wait until they see the end. Time for the crab feed. Come on. Gas. Rarely used stock pot. And you remember that recipe that we had earlier in the show? It's a recipe we got off the internet for the spicy beer boil. And everything from the lemons at G. Berta to coriander, black peppercorns, cayenne pepper, and about 8 or 9 other items that we've got on our own website, so you can get the recipe from us. And don't forget that very important ingredient. Yeah, beer. Remember that growler that we picked up at Buffalo Bill's? That's it. Now we're ready. Lemon. I hear these guys over here. Don't worry, I'm just drawing your bath, you guys. Just drawing your bath. One last hot tub. 20 minutes later. All right, looks like it's time for the final inundation. And would you like to know how many times in my life I've taken a live creature and dunked it into boiling water? Never. Ah, it's moving. God, I thought they weren't supposed to move. Okay, here you go. You ready? Whoa! Jeez. Here you go. Oh! God. Nothing like being Mr. Cool. All right, 20 minutes. That means the crab should be done. There's the steam. There's the crab. He looks mighty done to me. So what do we do next? I have no idea. I mean, really, what do you do from here? You gotta clean it. You gotta crack it. I have no idea how to do that. You know what I need? I need a chef who really knows what he's doing. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Leo Correa, the executive chef of Horizons Restaurant here in beautiful downtown Sausalito. Leo, thank you so much for coming by.
You're welcome.
Leo got started on the crabs, and let me tell you, there really is an art to shelling.
Oh, there's some major meat in there. So after all that cracking, from 2 crabs, we get about a pound of crab meat. Leo could not have done it without you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Executive chef at Horizons on Bridgeway here in Sausalito. Really appreciate your help.
Thank you. So now, what are you going to do with that?
Good question. That's why we have these 2 men.
Ruben and I are making a few little ditties for his dinner, namely these crab puffs with puff pastry and a cream cheese, garlic, mint. Lots of great filling. Hey, Rube, you want to put some crab in here?
Wow, it's great to have talented friends. And look at the feast that they prepared. And then how about those cookies from the bakery and the classic crab cocktail, all in one. And the whole point of the show is just to show you what you can do at the end of a long road trip if you gather these little elements along the way. And yet at the end of a long trip like that, what is the point of a feast like this if you can't share it with someone you love? What do you say? You ready? Yeah? Yeah, that was yummy, wasn't it? And if you want to taste some of this for yourself, it's easy to do. Just log on to our website, cbs5.com/Eye on the Bay. We'll have all of the recipes, and we'll also have directions to all the places we stopped today if you want to reproduce the trip on your own. Also, if you would, give us a thumbs up on Facebook. That's a great resource for you to come by. For those of you who love the Bay Area, we've got tips on places to go, things to see, things to eat as well. We really appreciate you coming along for the ride, don't we, Floss? You think you were such a good dog today. Have some real dog food. Yeah. And I'll see you next time. I'm Brian Hackney. In the meantime, bon appetit. See ya. Bye-bye. Floss, say goodbye, Floss.